And into this series, today we are going to do the practical in how to configure IPs into the interface, along with the how to enable the services, and along with like how to establish the communication between two different zones, how to establish communication with the internet. Okay, many other things that we are going to, and how to take the backup of the Fortigate firewall in the GUI mode and the CLI mode as well. Okay, so just a minute. So this is our lab setup. Okay, this is our R1, which I already took it. Okay, this is our R1. Okay, and after R1 we have a R2 here in the R2. R2. Okay, this is nothing but these are our Cisco routers. Okay, this is also a Cisco router which I made just symbol as a network. Okay, R3, and we have to configure R4. Okay, R4, and if you check this device, this is a firewall, and firewall is connected with our network by using a port number one. And by default, in simulation mode, port number one is in DSCP mode. Okay, so this port number one will get an automatically IP from that our network, which I have configured. Okay, so this is a FortiGate firewall, FGW, FortiGate only. Okay, so now let me configure some basic things in the R1. If you talk about the R1, this is our R1. Here we need to, we need to assign an IP. Here we need to assign an IP like enable configuration terminal interface fast Ethernet 0 by 0 IP address 192.168.1.2 and 255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. Okay. And along with, at the same time, I'm doing the IP route, uh, IP route and 0.0.0.0 default route I'm doing. Okay, whatever the packet is comes from to this router will blindly send to their gateway, which is 192.168.1.1. Okay, default route IP route is 0.0.0.0 IP route 0.0.0.0 and 0.0.0.0 192.168.1.1. We send directly to the packet. Okay. And the same way, we need to assign an IP address into this one. Enable configuration terminal interface, fast Ethernet 0 by 0, IP address 192.168.2.255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. No shutdown. At the same time, we need to do IP route and 0.0.0.0 and 0.0.0.0. I believe you know about this. What is 0.0.0? Why I'm using? You know everyone? You know all? Because this is the default route. We are asking this router whenever any packet is comes from to you where you don't know the destination. Okay, or we can also say like any source, and whenever any source, any network with any subnet mask, if the request is coming, you can blindly send to 192.168.2.1. 2.1 means our router, our firewall. Okay, same we are telling to this router 3. Okay, this is the router 3. Here I'm just going to tell configuration terminal interface pass Ethernet 0 by 0. 0 by 0 IP address 192.168.3.2 and 255.255.255.0 and no shutdown, and exit IP route 0.0.0.0 and 0.0.0.0 192.168.3.2. Okay, 192.168, it is this router. Okay, 3.2. So no, we don't. This is our, this is our network interface. We cannot assign a default route into the internet, right? Correct. So that is the reason we are not going to configure this default route here. So R4 enable configuration terminal interface pass Ethernet 0 by 0, 0 by 0, and IP address 192.168.4.2, 4.2, 255.255.255.0 and shutdown. Okay, and exit IP route 0.0.0.0 and 0.0.0.0. 192.168.4.1. Okay. So here we need to send the packet. So now finally we need to use a firewall. So in the FortiGate firewall, there is a by default ID is an admin, no with no password. Okay. So whenever you are using first time to the FortiGate firewall, you need to use an ID as an admin and hit double enter. So when you hit the double enter, it will ask to put the new password. So I'm using password as an admin only, and then the confirm password also I'm using. So I set it based on your understanding. You can set the password. Okay, so I given the I set up the IP. So now if you go to so IP, like how we are checking so IP interface breaking to this Cisco devices, right? Guys, please mute. If you have any question, you can unmute and you can ask me. Okay. So or if it is if you guys are assuming like there is a fast, so you can anytime you can you can hold me. I will keep it. I will start flowing to the slow in a slow mode. I will run. Okay. So system interface and the question mark. If you do the show system interface question mark, it will show you that FortiGate firewall is connected with the port number one. That is by default. Some management ports are there. Okay. From here. So this is from here, but from here this is a physical interface which is received the IP by 174.129, and port number 2 there is no IP, port number 3 no IP, port number 4 no IP, port number 5 no IP, 6 7 nothing, no IP has been assigned. Only the port 1 is has been IP received, which is a dynamically received, right? We didn't assign. So how this port number 1 received? The port number 1 received from this, and this is connected to the of my laptop. So that's the reason it is getting the IP from the same series, like 174 to 128. It is our UNG IP. So my firewall is getting IP of 174.129. So I'm just going to use 192.168.174.129, and if I hit the enter, the first time it will not work with the HTTP. It will work, HTTPS. It will work with the HTTP. So just log in with your ID password. Admin, I have ID password. So this is our dashboard of this FortiGate firewall. Okay. So there is some more thing in the CLI mode. So when you hit the source system interface and question mark, it will give you IP address and interface IP address. What is the interface port number and what is the IP and what is the subnet of this IP address, and which service is enabled, which is not available. Okay. But when you do the same command and hit the enter, it will give you one by one. Port number 1, okay. Set VDOM nothing. What is the VDOM that I will say? I will explain later. Mode is DHCP. Which service is enabled? Ping, HTTP, SSH, HTTP. This service is enabled into the port number 1. So that is the reason if HTTPS is not HTTPS and HTTP both are enabled. Okay, so this services has been enabled into the particular interface port number 1. But now, if you check in the port number 2, the services has been not enabled, right? There is no set allow access thing. Nothing has been enabled, correct? In the same 3, 4, no, nothing has been enabled. So this is the also way where you can check which service is enabled and what of the service has been integrated in the particular port. Like that, you can check. Okay, got it? Clear, guys. Lakshmi, Gay, is all clear?
Yes.
How to do that? How to verify this?
So you,
Sayyad,
is there any steps document you prepared for this setting up the lab, Mahesh?
not required. I have already video. Na? If you visit
Oh,
my
okay.
channel, if you visit to my channel here in the in the playlist, you'll
Okay.
find this. You'll find EVNG lab setup image.
Okay.
Yesterday I have already said you. Okay.
Oh,
Now,
okay. Oh,
first step is to configure. First step to run the VMware. And second step is to import that EVNG. And once EVNG has been import, you just follow the steps whatever I have given the instruction into the video. Okay, one by one you can do. If any problem, guys, then post class you can give me the remote of your machine. I'll help you how to do this. Okay.
sure. And the
Clear?
PPT which you explained yesterday, that I mean, we need to share the email ID or something. Or
No, no, no. I will share in the WhatsApp group. Whatever
okay,
the
yeah,
details, I will share everything in the group. No problem.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So
Thank
now,
you.
now come back to this. So here, this is the dashboard of the our firewall. So what is the meaning of this dashboard? In this dashboard, this is a completely a monitoring purpose. Okay, this option. In this network here, by using a under the network, we have many options like interface, DNS, packet capture, SD-WAN, static route, policy route, RIP, OSPF, BGP routing. Means routing layer 3 kind of concept we can use here. Okay, the port one is by default it got an IP right by being HTTPS and all the services will enable into this. Correct, but if you check the port 2, port 3, there is no IP, right? At the same time, you can assign the DNS IP if you are running if any DNS server has been running into your server in your office. You can assign here packet capture, which like we are having a wire shark. At the same time, same kind of way you can capture your packet, which packet is coming and from where it is coming. Like that, you can capture the packet. SD-WAN is a different technology that is a part of our content. So in the last. When you are having a multiple internet service provider connection, at that time we can merge both the ISP link, and we can use by using the SD-WAN we can use both together. Okay, static route we can configure, and policy route we can configure, RIP we can configure, OSPF we can configure, BGP we can configure, routing object and multicast, many more things that we can configure. And when you talk about the policy, these are the policy where we can create the policy. And one by one, day by day, we will cover each and every topics. Okay. In the security profile, we can enable, block the Facebook, any URL, or we can allow, or we can override for the users, for the group of users. Like that, we can do. Okay. At the same time, VPN we have, IPsec tunnel we have, SSL VPN we have, remote VPN we are having no, on the dial-up VPN we are having. That all the VPN we will cover. At the same time, we are having a user group authentication and other like suppose you are having a AD server into your organization, and that you wanted to sync all the AD user detail into the firewall, and the user will authenticate from the firewall, not from the AD server. That is also possible. We can do that from the LDAP server, and FSSO is also there that we can cover. Okay, first. Okay. After that, there is some setting option, that is an administrator where we can create an user. We can create an agent. Okay, FortiGuard. What is the FortiGuard? Some security fabric like FortiAnalyzer, FortiManager, that we can cover into this, and how to check the log, and how to understand what is going on, why the packet is blocking, from where this packet is blocking in events, or the SSL, or the DNS query is resolving or not. Many more that things is there that we will cover. Okay, one by one we'll cover. So that we are coming from here. So now, if you check about this is in the same way, here I took a console of the firewall, okay, in the CLI mode. In the same time, we can take a console in the CLI mode of the firewall as well. So system interface question mark. Here from here also we can take the CLI. We don't need to take we don't need to use the putty or any other application to take the SSH or the telnet to access the any firewall. Okay, got it. From here, if any doubt, this is the question, and from here you can take the help. Here you can get the notification, and this is the administrative part. From here, you can get to know which version it is going on, and from system you can reboot, you can shut down, you can also maintain the fabric management like other like firewall manager or analyzer kind of device you can manage. From here, you can take the backup, and you can take the restore your backup. Okay, if you are having any script knowledge, you can use here. Okay, you can change the password and you can do the login. Then login, logout. So now into this, let's suppose if this is in system information, it is showing like what is the host name of this device name and the serial number of the device, which firmware and the 40 OS both are same. Both are the version of like Windows 7, Windows 10. We are using the machine like that only. This is the firmware. Firmware is nothing but this is the 40 operating system. Okay, like Palo Alto is having a Pen OS. Okay, like that, it is Fortigate is having a 40 operating system, so 40 OS we are calling. Okay. Mode is in netting. Yesterday we discussed about the net mode and the transparent mode, right? Lakshmipati? So the generally the machine this firewall is running with the net mode. System time, like what are the time of and the uptime since how long this device has been started and running. So licensing part you can do here. And if anything else, a virtual part you can check there. Forti Cloud you can check there, and Security Fabric like Forti Analyzer and the Forti Manager, Sandbox, and any other thing like a Forti Switch, Access Point, and the extender and the Forti client, like a remote VPN kind of Forti client we are using. Okay, that every detail you can get it here. Administrators part you can take it here, and CPU speed, how much CPU consumption is there, how much memory is there going to consumption and the sessions and every other things like how we can get to know. If you want to get more than that in this dashboard, you can go to the aid monitor, click on this. Let's suppose you want to check the IPsec, you want to take that IPsec. So you just need to go here and click and do the aid monitor. So bring back, bring down, you'll get the IPsec also. Okay, just a minute. So refresh it once, and later you can say, okay, here you can say the IPsec monitor. Okay, here you can say the IPsec monitor. Like that you can get to know. Okay, CPU speed, and let me check, go slow. Here it will not come from here if you are hitting anything. Okay, like IPsec only. So okay, so IPsec will come here. Like that wizard, we can add some more options here. Okay, many other options we can add based on your, overall, I mean to say, you can customize your dashboard here. Okay, what you wanted to see into the dashboard. And okay, clear guys. So now we are going to assign an IP address into the interface. So how many interface we are having? Port number 5, port number 2, port number 3, and port number 4. So we'll start configuring the IP from the port number 2 and port number 3, port number 4, and port number 5. So from here also we can do in the CLI. First, I will show you how to assign IP into the graphical user mode, interface mode. Later, I can show you the same thing how to do in the CLI mode. Okay. So we'll start from the port number 2. So port number 2, this is under the network to the interface to that. Welcome to the port number 2. Here port number 2, and you can give any name, like I'm giving demilitarized zone 1. According to my topology, this is our demilitarized zone area 1. DMZ role I'm giving as a lane. Okay, here we can do the IP address 192.168. What is the IP? 2.1/24 means the IDR value. Okay, what are the service that you want to enable into this particular interface? Let's suppose I wanted to enable a ping. If I disable, this is not, if the ping has been not enabled, then you cannot ping this port number 2 interface by IP. Okay, so you should always enable the services. Which services you want to enable, that you can do. Okay, here only you can enable the DSCP server. If let's suppose any other lane users are there, they can get IP from this interface engine. Okay, so now we don't require. In upcoming session we can use this. That's it. Okay, this is the way how you're going to configure the IP. Okay, so port number 2, just now we had assigned the IP. So this is on port number 1, port number 2, 192.168.2.1. In the same way, we can configure in CLI mode how to do that. Okay, so in here again we need to do the login, admin. So now config system interface. Okay, how to configure interface in the CLI mode? How to configure how to assign IP into any interface by using a CLI. So this is the command, config system interface. Hit enter and edit which port number 1 or 2, port number 2. Okay, set mode of IP addressing. So it mode is static we are assigning. Set mode is static. Set IP 192 192.168. What is the IP? 3.1, right? 3.1/24 we can do, or we can also do the 255.255. So I'm using 2/24. Set allow access. Which service you want to enable? Ping, HTTPS, HTTP, many other services are there. By using question mark, you can check it here. SSH. SNMP. Many services you can enable from here. Okay. Many things which is not available into the graphical mode, which is available into the CLI mode. So better to understand, better to get a knowledge of both the mode of CLI and the GUI as well. Okay. So SNMP like that. Now if you want to save, so for the save command, you need the end is a save command. But if you don't want to save for the configuration of this particular tree interface, you wanted to save once you configured all the interface, then you wanted to save. That is also possible. So now we wanted to move from port number 3 to, okay, so port number 2, I given the wrong IP, right? So because I was already assigned IP into the GUI mode of the port number 2, right? Correct now? Port number 2.
Yep.
But at the same time, I given the wrong port. I choose the port number 2 again, and I given the IP as 3.1, which is wrong. So I'm just going to abort the configuration. Okay, I'm going to abort the configuration, so it will not impact anything. Config system interface. We did port number not 2. It is this time port number 3. Set mode static. Set IP 192.168.3.3.1 with the /24. Okay. /24 set allow access ping https http. Okay, this is the way how you're going to configure. Okay, and next, which interface? You need port number 4 3 4. Set mode static and set allow access ping https http set IP 192.168.4.4.1 and 4.1/24. Next interface, you need port number 5. Port number 5. What is the IP? Set mode static, set mode static, set allow access ping HTTPS, HTTP, set IP address, set IP. What is the IP? 192.168.1.1. Okay, 1.1/24. And finally, we are going to save because we configured IP into all the interface, right? So now I'm going to save. By int command, we can save it. Okay. So now if you check source system interface, so in the question mark, so now if you'll get to know everywhere the IP has been assigned, right? Here also, if you check, there is only 1 and 2 is showing. Only this 1 is by default. 2 has been assigned to the 2.1. So just go and refresh the page. So here also you can get to know port number 3, we given the IP, port number 4, you assign the IP, port number 5, you assign the IP, correct? Clear? Is
Okay.
it fast or is it fine? The speed is fine or do I need to go slow?
It's okay.
Thank you guys. So I believe you are going to understand the things, okay? So finally, after that, this is this is how to configure, how to assign IP address in GUI mode and CLI mode. Now we are going to do what? Um, Now we'll check whether these are able to ping or not. They're able to reach or not. Like from R1, this from R1, I'm going to reach to where 1.1. So I'm checking the ping 192.168.1.1. So it is reachable. Okay, fine. But at the same time, 2.1 I cannot reach. Right? 2.1 is up of my this interface IP. 2.1 I cannot reach, and 3. I cannot reach. 3.1 I cannot reach, and 4.1 I cannot reach. Okay, so 4.1 also I cannot reach. Correct. So for that, because there is one, by using this, I'll show you the policy and go to the firewall policy. There is one policy by default policy which is the implicity, and the action is deny. Okay, so that is the reason our interface, other interface are not able to reach. But at the same time, if you check from the firewall can reach everywhere. Okay, to ping, how to do the ping. Normal we cannot do the ping. The command to ping, that is execute ping. And remember, our in the Fortigate only that capital letter will not work here. Okay, in the command line, only small letter we can use. Okay. Execute ping from where? Firewall. So 192.168.1.2. I'm able to reach, right? I'm able to reach. At the same time, 2.2.2. I'm able to reach. At the same time, 2.3, 2.3, I'm able to reach. Not 2.3, that is 3.2. 3.2, I'm able to reach. At the same time, I can reach to 4.2. Let me use, this is our router number 3. Okay, here I need to assign, I need to configure one IP address because this is we are considering as a what? Interface loopback one. We are considering as the internet, right? So IP address 1.1.1.1, 1.1.1.1, and 255.0.0.0. IP address 1.1.1.1. 255.0.0.0. I'm going to consider it. Okay. So now if you check from the firewall, you can ping the 1.1.1 only. That one also execute pings 1.1.1.1. So this firewall is able to reach 3.2 as well as 1.1, right? But but at the same time, these firewalls cannot reach. They are unable to reach from one interface to other interface, or we can say one zone to other zone, right? For that, we need to go and we need to do, we need to create one policy. Why it is not reaching this? So for that, we have some command to verify. The command line will be, just a minute. So we are using diagnose command, right? So diagnose, debug, enable, diagnose, debug, enable, diagnose, debug, application, okay, and many other commands. Diagnose, debug, enable, diagnose, debug, or diagnose, debug, enable. Okay, by using this command diagnose, debug, enable, we can config, diagnose, and that other commands are there. Antivirus, autonomous, clear spas. Okay, diagnose, debug only, diagnose, debug, question mark, and enable, diagnose, debug, enable, info, diagnose, debug, info. What is the other? Diagnose, debug, info, not info. Let me check which is the current one. Okay. Info, reset, duration report, config, error logs, SQL, and cloud application, diagnose, debug, application, and after this, which one? SMTP, which one you want to see? POP2, FCD, ClearPass, JCP, proxy, DNS, Wi-Fi, many other things which we are going to use. Extended. What are the commands are there? Wait a minute, I need to verify because it's a very long time that sometime we need to go application. No, not application. Diagnose, debug, enable, diagnose, debug, diagnose, debug, uh, diagnose, debug, application of that, what is that? Mhm. Okay, application. Okay. Uh, let me check. Let me check from here. Okay. From R1 to, if I'm reading from R1 to this 2.1, what we're getting? Again, ping dot 2.1. Okay. So let me check what are the things we're getting in the here. Any logs are coming. Diagnose, debug, enable. Diagnose, debug, listen. One. Just fine. Okay. Let me check now. Now again hit from here 2.1. They're hitting. So there is no logs has been generated. Let me check the command. Okay. It was a very long time. Set up and that let's see what the command. Just like this. My intention is to just show you the error. Okay, configuration text, IDVPN, IPsec, FMJS, normal, transparent parameters. Let me check up if I'm finding here. I'll share these things to you. So in future, if required, you guys can also use this command. Okay, target release. So later I'll share with you. So no need to worry. So overall, I mean to say, because of this simplicity, our visibility is not there. So how we are going to do? Create a new, and create a new means we need to create a policy. The policy means we are going to create a policy for, like, R1 to R2, right? Means inside to DMZ1. So R1 to R2, I'm creating one profile. Okay, like I'm just giving one name. So packet will come from port number 5, and it will go to via port number 2. So incoming port number will be a port number 5, and it will go via port number 2. Okay, so source will be our all the networks, or we can define the networks, which network will come. So like this also we can define this is just a name, 192.168.1.0. 1.0 network will come like this. Okay, so like this also we can go, and slash 24. Okay, and any interface like this also we can choose, and we can call here. But as of now, all I'm using destination, I'm using is all. We can define destination also, but in because of the first class, I'm not going to do much more R&D here. Otherwise, you guys will confuse. Okay, so action will be accept, and netting is not required because of the insert communication. But if you keep it, it is fine. Yesterday, we discussed about the flow based and the proxy based, right? Rashmipati, guys.
Yeah, Manoj.
Yeah, so this is the way. Okay, from here also, this is the flow base, and this is the proxy base. So generally we are using a flow base. In very rare case, we are using the proxy base. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? We are creating one policy from R1. I'm just giving this is just a name. So incoming interface packet will generate from here, and it will receive by the port number 5. So incoming interface will be the port number 5, and the outgoing interface is a port number 2. So I'm selecting as a port number 2 as the outgoing interface. Okay. Source will be anything, any network from this port number 5. Destination is anything. Okay. And the schedule means always they can reach. Okay. Services, all the services are enabled. Action is accept. Inspection mode is a flow based. Okay, not a proxy based. Late is not required, but I'm keeping it. Okay, that's it. So now I created a policy. If you check it now you can hit now from where to where, from R1 to R2. Okay, so now our reachability is fine here, right? Repeat count being source. Just a minute. Enable being in 192.168.1.2 and repeat count 100 packet I'm sending. So our reachability is fine from 1.2 to, no, not to 1.2, 2.1. I need to use 2.1. We are able to reach 2.1. Okay, repeat count is 100. So 100 packet I said 100 packets is received by port number this 2.1. Okay, got it? Clear, guys? But at the same time, I have a question: is R2 can reach to the R1? Could you please tell me, anyone? Is our R2 can reach in the same way to the is R2 will ping from their PC to 1.2?
R2 will not reach because the policy is not defined.
Yeah, because one-way policy we created, right? From one way, from port number 5, it will receive, and it will send by it will receive by the port number 2. It will receive, the request will receive by the port number 5, and it will send to the port number 2 only, right? But I was not created any policy that packet will come from the port number 2, and it will go via port number 5. Okay. So the config at the same time we're going to start ping 192.168.1.1 also. It is not going to reach, right? 192.168.1.1. The port number 5 also it is not going to be. For that also we need to create a policy. Okay. We again need to create a policy from R2 to R1. Okay. R2 to R1. Incoming interface is the port number 2. Packet will come from the port number 2 and it will go to the port number 5. So this time reverse we are doing the reverse policy we're creating. Okay. Source will be all, destination will be all, a schedule is always services, all the services can be do. Okay. Xn is accept, flow based, and okay. Policy is created. Now check. Now R2 can reach to the R1.1 as well. R2 can reach to the 1.2 as well. Okay. But R2 and R1 they can reach together, but now still the R2 cannot reach to the R3 or R4. Okay. Got it? For that, we need to create one by one policy for R1 to R2, like for R1 to R3, R1 to R3, okay, R1 to R4, R1 to 5. Many policy I need to create, right? Correct. But this policy I don't need to create a multiple policy like this. For that we need to go and we need to create a setting. Okay, go to the setting and feature visibility. Under this feature visibility, you will get one option that is multiple interface policy. So by using multiple interface policy, you can apply there. And now you can get an option here in under this policy and object firewall policy. We don't need to create a multiple policy to reach each other. Okay, just deleting this policy. Deleted the policy. Now we can create one single policy. R1 to means all to all I can do. Okay, all to all. All to I'm just keeping all to all the name. So incoming packet will be the port number 2, port number 3, port number 4, port number 5, and many more. Outgoing interface also port number 2, port number 3, port number 4, 5, and many others. Okay. Source is the all. Destination is the all. Okay. Destination is the all. Service schedule is the always. Services is the all. Okay. And accept and flow based and net. That's it. By using a single policy, also by creating a single policy, we can now all this firewall these devices can read this devices can ping to each other. Okay, if you talk about the R1 to okay 2.1, if you talk about 3.1 also we can reach. Okay, if you talk about the 4.1 also we can reach. 4.1 also we can reach, and the vice versa. These devices also can reach to each other. Okay, got it? But still this R1 cannot reach to the 1.1 ping 1.1. Is it? Because this is an internet, and let's suppose the 1.1.1 IP is of the Facebook or Google. Okay, but still this device is not able to reach the 1.1. But at the same time, firewall can reach. Firewall can reach that. Okay, admin and the admin. The ping execute ping 1.1.1. Okay, at the same time, firewall is able to reach, but this device cannot reach. Okay, R2 cannot reach 1.1.1. R2 cannot reach. Okay, so like that, it will not. They are not able to ping to the internet. For that, what we have to do? We need to come and we need to go to the static route. Okay, under the network, we need to go to the static route. Under static route, we need to go to create new, and any network, any subnet. If if any network, any request is coming with any IP with any subnet, the network should be reached. The request should be sent to the 192.168.3.2. So we need to provide here 192.168.3.2. Okay. Interface by default it choose this is a port number 3, and now that's it. Now if you hit from here 1.1, is it? Will it be possible? Is it still not possible, right? That is not possible. But we have any other option. Let me check. Port number 3, advanced option, and priority is 0, 192.168.3.2, 192.168.3.2 only. We need to send this packet, and it is the port number 2, and the administrative distance, that is also fine. Any network can become. And here this time 1.1 we already created. Let me check. No, anything which I'm missing now? I don't think so that I'm missing anything. But this is the way. Tomorrow we'll check that why it is not happening. Okay. This request is coming from where the default route is there or not. That also we need to check. Okay. If default route is not there, then this will not ping. R3 is by default. It will ping 1.1.1.1. R3 can ping. R4 cannot ping. Ping 1.1.1. R4 cannot ping because it is in R3. That is the reason R3 is able to reach. But firewall should also reach. That will check it by tomorrow. Okay. So I believe you guys, this is useful for you. Today's class. Okay. Any question?
No, nothing.
Not now, right? So try
Yeah,
to build your topology as soon as possible. Not
yeah, sure.
missing.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow you should, right? Tomorrow you should do. Already I given the image files. Okay. I'm just going to stop the recording for tonight. And tomorrow, based on my